just got this thing out of the carb bath and got it cleaned up as much as I could. A lot of that gunk won't come off, but I'm not really worried about it. So it's ready to go. And also the new plunger for the choke on card number 4 came in. So now I have choke on all 4 carbs. So that's good. I'm still waiting on the air and fuel tubes, but once I have those, I should be able to start putting the carbs back on here. Once that happens, I will soak these boots in this solution so that they're rubbery, and I can slip the carbs back on the engine. And also, I did get the new starter relay in and figured out what wires go where. So now, I'll show you later, but when I have power, I can just flip the switch, turn the bike on, and push the start button, and the bike cranks. So we're definitely getting there. So yeah, basically once the carbs are ready to go back on, I can put gas in it and try and start this thing. So pretty excited. All right, so today back working on the motorcycle. I am still waiting on a bunch of parts for the carburetor. Like I need the air tubes and stuff to put it back together. But in the meantime, I'm just working on wiring and similarly related things on the bike. So one being the tail light. It does light up, but I need a place to mount it. And the previous owner did manage to hang on to this old piece. I'm not exactly sure how it used to mount. I think I'm missing like a bracket that should be there. But really, I just need something on there so I can ride it around and pass inspection and stuff. So I found 2 nuts in my bolt bin that fit on this. And literally, I'm just drilling 2 holes here so I can just put this on here like that and have a rear tail light. I think that'll look fine. It'll be good enough for me, at least for now. And fortunately, the drill died before I could get the second hole done. So drill is charging. And other than that, the bike came with the temp sensor in the spot where it's supposed to go. But the wires are completely gone. I have no idea where the wires are for it. I could look them up on the schematic. I may do that someday, but for now, I just want something to work. So I just have this Harbor Freight water gauge. I used the same kind on the truck, and I still use it, and it works great. And it does thread right into the spot, but the problem is that the bulb in there that detects the water temp is loose. Like it doesn't bottom out on anything, so it never gets tight. So I think I'm just gonna take it out and JB weld it so that I won't have any water leaking when I use this thing. So that's the plan. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, so another update. The switch to turn it on works because of the new ignition coil. The bike cranks from the switch now. This turns fans on, but they're not plugged in right now. And then we also have working license plate light and running light. And then when you push the brake, that lights up too. I can't really film and do that by myself. Also, the headlight, high beam and low beam both work. So we're getting pretty close to legal. Now I'm just looking at ways to mount the seat. And as you can see, I've moved all the wiring off this. Basically, the stock seat sat like right here. But because I'm so tall, that was a little bit cramped for me, so I want to sit further back. But there's all this wiring stuff there, but I really don't see a need for it to be there other than convenience. So I moved it all, and I'm about to cut this box thing out so I can get the seat as low as I can, as far back and as low as I can get it. So I'm gonna cut this thing off right here and then test fit the seat and see if I can get it decently positioned with the help of my assistant. All right, so I've reached another stopping point. Yeah, I'll rub your belly. Give you belly rub. So I've reached another stopping point on the bike. It now has everything that it needs to pass inspection. So, it powers up. I have a horn now. All I did was take a button and a couple wires, run them to power it around, and then I actually took this horn off the truck. Just saw something to pass inspection. I don't know if I'm going to leave it on while driving around the bike or not. Both high beam and low beam work. I didn't have to do anything there. And then of course we have a license plate light and a rear tail light, and then the brake light works as well. So also I have a mirror on each side. So this bike now has everything that it needs to pass inspection. So at this point I've just been working on mounting the seat. I decided to just basically, these cable ties are temporary. I need to find something else to do for those. Basically, there's just a long bolt with some random nuts and washers and stuff sitting there just to get the angle of the seat the way that I wanted it. And now I just need to find a way to keep this from sliding around because it can move left and right. Not a huge deal, but when I'm making turns, it could get annoying. I might be able to tighten this up enough to where it doesn't, but maybe not. So I probably just need to get something, springs or something back here, maybe figure something out. But anyways, the seat's definitely a work in progress, but it is definitely where I want it. I wanted it far back and low, so I'm happy with the placement of it. Just need to get it more secure. So maybe I'll make some brackets to put these bolts through. We'll see. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm still waiting on the parts so that I can put the carbs together. I need the fuel and air tubes. And then once that's done, we can put them together. And once they're together, we can put them on the bike and see what happens. So pretty stoked about that. And then once we put the carbs on the bike, then I'll be able to start it right up, hopefully, and we'll have everything that we need to drive it down to the inspection place and get it inspected so I can register it. So that's the goal anyways. Obviously needs a little bit of tidying up here and there, but you know, the front I can't really put back together until I have the carbs. And I just found some bolts that'll work for the fuel tank. Of course it didn't come with any, but you know, just trying to get my ducks in a row for when all the pieces are in. So that's it for now. Waiting on parts, waiting on parts. Okay, so you guys think this bike is rigged now? You haven't seen anything yet. So here is the rear brake master cylinder that came with the bike. It goes on these two holes here, and then it connects by threading into this thing here, which is connected to the foot brake, and then a brake line runs from the back of the thing to the rear caliper. We tested it, and this is blown, this master cylinder. Tons of play to it. It's blown bad. Really old, really nasty, a little bit rusty. There are rebuild kits for it, and they're like 30 bucks. And I was just about to order one when I was like, wait a minute, maybe I'll just get like a generic one and make it work. So here's one off eBay for like $10. Do you mind? For $10, okay? So this is 1/3 the price of the rebuild kit for that. And by the way, one of those working is like $150, you know, made to fit this bike. So definitely ain't trying to pay that. So I ordered this. The spacing on these holes are the same, but I didn't even think about the fact that this one would be taller. So because this one's shorter, it doesn't actually reach over this bar right here. That one is made to just barely reach over it. So basically what I had to do was drill another hole up here. See, I can't even line these up because this stick is over here hitting something, okay? So all I did to fix it was just drill a hole up here, and so I can just run a bolt through that hole right there and connect in there. The other problem is, as you can see, this one is a fair amount shorter. It was the closest one I could find. I looked at tons of them on eBay. It's a fair amount shorter, and also here's the threaded end on this one, and this one is clearly a lot smaller, you can see. So what I did to fix that was some real ghetto stuff. This is literally a bolt that's the same thread pattern as that, and a nut welded onto it. And then from there, I had to, there were already holes in this, but I drilled them out more and then ground the top down a little bit so that I can combine them all in a random bolt and do this. Ta-da! So something that we're left with is now something that's just about the same length as that guy with the correct thread pattern to thread into this thing, and you can still twist it by using this thing here. So you just twist this whole thing here, and that will allow me to get the right amount of tension on it. So now I'm just going to try and bolt it all up and see if it works. I may have to run a second hole. The problem is there's like goofiness going on here, and then the hole would be like where this bend is. So who knows, I might try and run a zip tie. We'll see. What is nice about this one is it has no need for there's no need for a reservoir. I had it sitting here, but it's gone now. But there's no need for a brake fluid reservoir for this. It's like an internal reservoir, which is nice because this one had to have a line going up to a big reservoir that's sitting up here. So it'll be nice to not have that. Hopefully it works good. So let's see if I can get it to fit here.